Greetings, family. I hope everybody is well. It's Empress D. I'm in nature. I'm in a different part of the park today, family. I've never come this way before. And it's very interesting and serene. I'm going to show you guys. There's a nice, here, let me show you. It's a nice area where I guess you call it a creek at this point, is frozen, and there's some nice trees in the middle. It's just very serene. I don't think that the video does it justice. It looks really nice in person. Family, get out in nature. That's why I do it. It's so beautiful and peaceful and serene. This is how I get to know myself, right? And again, isn't that the goal? Isn't that the goal of being on this planet, is to know yourself? So as I always say, a quick way to do it is coming out in nature every day, family. Not as cold today. I think we're getting a little break in the cold weather, but we're going right back to it in a bit. But again, just bundle up and don't spend a long time, but just spend quality time. A good 10-15 minutes if it's really, really cold and you can't tolerate it, right? But bundle up and walk. Keep active, keep moving, and you'll find how tolerable it is when you have good gear, right, family? I hope everybody's doing something to better themselves every day. I say it every day, but I mean it, because you cannot be neglecting yourself at this stage of the game. So whatever it is that you see about yourself that you need to improve, I hope you're working on that every single day, okay? And if you haven't started, start now. I really encourage you to, family. Start now, okay? I wanted to talk just really quickly about just where we're at every single day. I wake up and I think to myself, are we really here? Is this really happening, family? But it is. And it's a really, 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 really great time to be alive. So many changes. This is to be alive now and to be an adult now and to have control of your destiny now is a blessing and a gift. It's harder to, I think you are less fortunate if you are an adolescent or a child who's dependent on the adult raising you to be awake and aware and to know themselves in order to make the right decisions to guide that family, right? And so that's why I'm thankful every day that I'm the age that I am right now during this time. And I wouldn't miss it for anything. It's not easy, but it's exciting to me because I know that at the other end of it, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. And that's what kind of helps me get through this. That's helping me get through this, is just, having that picture in my mind of what's to come, right? Oh my gosh, it just gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. Thinking about a world where there's no evil. Imagine, where everybody's leading with love, right? I will go through this, knowing that at the other side is going to be a world that leads with love, and that's what I'm knowing all of this is about. Okay, family? And so my whole thing that I wanted to share today goes back to the different things that daily are being imposed on us. I'm here in Canada. I'm here in the Toronto area, okay? And our neighboring province, so for those of you who live in the US, a province is an equivalent to state, right? So our next door province announced yesterday that they are planning on imposing a tax for those who remain unvaccinated. So if you choose to remain unvaccinated, you have to pay a tax, a surplus. You have to pay extra money. Family, the other thing that I've been reading a lot about a lot of different things that they're planning to. I've been reading a lot of articles of what to do with the unvaccinated, what to do with them, what to do. And how much of a problem we're causing. And so this is our daily existence here in Canada. And so they are planning, our neighboring province is planning on implementing a paid tax that those who choose to remain unvaccinated must pay, okay? they're also thinking about other ways of how to deal with us. And one of the things that I've read that they're proposing or thinking about is having a different tiered healthcare system for those who are unvaccinated. Okay, they would not be receiving the same healthcare. It's going to be a tier below, okay, in terms of quality healthcare that those who chose to be vaccinated receive. And these are the things that I've been reading in our Canadian media. This is what they're putting out there. And you know, when they put things out in the media, it's to get people used to these ideas, right? It's to also predictively program you, predictively expose, or maybe I'm trying to say expose you to what's to come in the future, right? That's what all of this is. And I read these articles, and I've been reading them throughout the pandemic, and it absolutely is the case. They will say, oh, what do you think of this? Or this is that and that. And the next few months, it's that what they were writing about a few months ago as a potential and a what if, and these are what they're thinking about, actually is implemented, right? And so they always say history is the best predictor of future, right? And so this is where it's going, right? I have to seriously take into consideration an exodus, some kind of because, and I've developed a plan. I've developed a plan with my children, and we may need to implement it, because what is going on around here, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like this. Okay, family. I'm just giving you those of you in America who are tuning in a little bit of insight as to what is going on north of the border. Let me tell you, Canada used to be, in my opinion, the best. We used to be so comfortable and free and clean and orderly. Yeah, I guess that orderliness has translated into really good rule followers, or blindly trusting citizens. It's no discernment is going on here north of the border. No discernment whatsoever. What they say it is what it is. Regardless if what they're saying it is now is not what they said it was last week, or if what they said last week is contradicting what they're saying today. Like, no discernment here north of the border. And I know that a lot of our American friends aren't discerning as much as well, but here we have a really high compliance rate with the vaccine. I think you guys are at 50% of your citizens. I think we're at more than 90% of over 12. And over 5, I think we're like at almost 88% vaccinated. At least one dose. I follow these numbers because I just want us to see like what the I want to know how much of my squad are going to be around. Like I don't know, because it feels like a real divide is happening, because the vaccinated are really starting to really not like the unvaccinated. And I don't feel the same way. It's not that I don't dislike the vaccinated. I don't. I just wish that people would maybe be more discerning when it comes to everything else. Okay, fine. You took the vaccine, you wanted it, you took it, good. But let's think about the other things that are happening around us, because it's not about health. It's not about the vaccine. It's not about health. It really isn't. And I feel like it's not about health. How could it be about health? I've been listening to media, mainstream media, a little bit more lately. And I heard a physician on TV saying, if you, and this is on the news, okay, like the news station that's on every TV in the Toronto area. The physician is basically saying that there are consequences when you don't follow rules, okay? And so those who choose to not be vaccinated must suffer the consequences of their choices, right? This is what this physician was saying. So I was just really what his statement is wrong on so many levels. But I just want to focus on one aspect of the wrongness. And it is in that, okay, for those of us who choose not to take this vaccine, isn't the consequence having a risk of getting the virus? So that's our consequence, no? Why is there more consequences? If you have taken the vaccine, you should be protected. And therefore, you should not, so they say, if you may get COVID, because it's normal to get the virus when you're vaccinated against it. That's what they're normalizing right now, right? I've been practicing in the medical field for 22 plus years. And although sometimes people will get mild symptoms after a vaccine, it's not normal to get a virus that you're vaccinating yourself against, okay? But they've normalized it, okay? Okay, fine. It's normal to get the virus after being vaccinated. However, you're not supposed to get sick, and you're not supposed to be hospitalized, and you're not supposed to die, okay? And that's their rationale for encouraging us all to get this. So you don't get super sick. So if somebody chooses to take it, then they're protected, meaning they have a less likely chance of getting the infection if the vaccine works the way it's supposed to. And if by some strange reason they get the virus, they wouldn't get as sick, right? So they're getting the benefit of taking this vaccine, and that's their choice, right? So And as I kind of opened up with, in Canada here where we live, almost 90% of the population, so 87 point, I think it's 3 or something. Okay, it's a large percentage of the population above the age of 5. Okay, and if we look at the population above the age of 12, it's like 93%, 93% of people over the age of 12 have had at least one dose, and double dosed it's like 88% of the population over 12. Okay, and under 12 it's like 82 or 83. Family, okay. By those numbers, it's only roughly at most about 13% of the population that is not vaccinated. Okay, just say all of those people got really sick because they didn't take the vaccine, and it put a bit of a strain on the healthcare system. Wouldn't that be okay? Because all the people that are vaccinated should not be in the hospital, right? According to what they're saying. So this was what we have to really think about, what they're telling us. And I have to ask if it makes sense. They're telling us that the unvaccinated are the problem, yet the hospitals are overrun. But there's only 13% of the population that are unvaccinated, roughly, right? So how could they be overrunning the hospitals? I'm sorry, but we have to realize that it seems as though vaccinated people that are not supposed to be in the hospital are ending up in the hospital, right? According to what's happening. And so we really have to rethink about everything. Mandating this vaccine, why? Like, family, we have to start asking difficult questions within ourselves and amongst ourselves. Okay, first off, we have to be honest with ourselves about how do we really feel about what's happening, and once we are honest with ourselves and we get in touch with how we feel, vocalize it to somebody you trust. Okay, and the more and more of us that talk about this, at some point our voices are going to be nice and loud so that people can start to recognize that this isn't right, and those that are in leadership need to hear our voice, because trust me, our collective voice is much louder than the voice of leadership, right? And so there is strength in numbers, and that's what we have to recognize, family. I'm not going to keep you. I've been rambling. I hope everybody is well and taking care of themselves and getting out in nature. And I really, really am so grateful to those of you who take the time to listen to this message. And I love and I value each and every one of you. Okay, family? One love.